Yeah, right. It's the perfect timing. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Hello, guys. So today is Sunday. I've barely slept, and Tom had was partying all night long,
Yeah,
because
I'm
he's
like
a
a I'm
party
like a
monster.
teenager in Daytona Beach.
Yeah, yeah. Like you do sound like a teenager in Daytona Beach. Yeah,
I
the
feel like a
voice.
teenager in Daytona Beach right now.
Yeah, yeah. We all get those feelings sometimes.
Yeah,
Just gotta smack it and get that out of your head.
yeah.
So
So we were talking about what we were going to do on the stream today, and we almost came to the conclusion to talk about how to stay motivated. One of those kind of streams, and then we realized that we actually have a pattern for success already. In that we can just sit down and do the work.
Yep.
We can just do the work. That's all we got to do.
Yeah. So today is probably gonna be like a nice, quick little stream, and um, I wanna start something new and get into the vehicle design, which I haven't done a lot. And Tom is gonna continue working on his line drawings, and looks like we're gonna make some toasters or draw
We're gonna
some.
try.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I want to work on is I had this idea, a futuristic sci-fi dirt bike that I can later do in 3D code. The reason I picked it is because I never ever drew a dirt bike before. I never rode a dirt bike either. I kind of loosely know what they are, and I like the idea of a sci-fi sports transport.
Oh, you know what we need to find? We need
Wait.
to hold on. Yeah, keep going. I'm gonna do a search.
Yeah. So I like every once in a while I like to pick a subject where I've never done it before. I have no idea how to even start it, and then just go for it and see where I end up. And that's kind of like it's an interesting exercise because it forces you to l- pay attention to detail and like learn new things and expand your visual vocabulary.
Yeah.
Um,
So track my hangout as well.
oh, beautiful.
This is so great. This artist had people draw what they thought bicycles looked like
Amazing.
from memory, and then he models them.
Oh yeah.
This is
Beautiful.
this is like the most beautiful brain tickling exercise.
I like those tires. I would totally write that.
Oh, so good.
How old were the people who were drawing those? Were they
They're,
like,
whatever. Rosella 57.
okay. I mean, it would help if those people could draw. This almost looks like a real bicycle, though.
Yeah, or like it could potentially work
Yeah.
if the pedals, I don't. It's just every time I see this stuff, it makes my brain. It feels like someone's tickling my brain.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, this is like that. This is like a
Picasso.
MC Escher.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, I'll put this link in the chat, and then you can attach it to the video, to the recording.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alright, guys. So, are you getting a coffee or not?
No, I'm good. She got it for me.
Oh, okay. Alright, so I just searched for a dirt bike and let's look at some images. So, just like with anything else, whenever I'm starting a design that, I've never done before, like something new, or just in general, I like to start in the most simplest way possible. Like instead of going straight to 3D or straight to drawing it out, silhouette is kind of where it's all at for me. So grabbing an image from Google, pasting it into my thing, and wonder if I wish transparencies worked. Wouldn't that be great?
Say again.
I wish I could just drag and drop a PNG from a browser into Photoshop and transparency would work.
It doesn't.
No, it just gives you black. I
But
right
that's
click, I do
really
copy
interesting.
image, and then I do this.
That's
and
because I'm dealing with a bug in Moodboard where you can't copy out transparency out of Moodboard as well.
yeah, maybe transparency is just don't work. Maybe that's
Maybe because it tries to pre-multiply with black and then it loses the alpha channel.
I don't know. Maybe that's what life is. So
What happens if you right click and copy and then paste it?
that's what I'm doing.
Drag and drop.
Drag and dropping doesn't even do shit. How funny is that?
It's interesting. It's
So
really interesting.
yeah, I'll like once again I know nothing about dirt bikes. I'm just copy pasting silhouettes, and then we're gonna go to full like fill them with black, and then we're gonna compare differences in shapes and like what the design language is, and yeah, that's how basically I learn things.
So you're actually going to trace right over top of these, or are you going to?
Oh, I'm literally gonna use these images as a starting point, but then I'm gonna modify them to turn them into sci-fi designs. And like, there's no, I mean, I'm using them these images as a foundation, but in the end, by the time I'm done with them, they're gonna look nothing like this real-world dirt bikes. Like,
Yeah.
imagine me having to draw all of these, like, freaking details by hand. I would, like, kill myself. It's much easier, especially for something as complex as this, to start with the base and then kind of kit bash it to come up with something more interesting, more...
What was that meme about the Mr. Concept 5000 or whatever?
Mr. Concept Art? Yeah, he would just photo bash, you know, toasters on top of the stuff. It's kind of like a joke meant to make fun of people who photo bash badly and they don't design. They think that that's an interesting silhouette here. It's so weird.
Yeah, that rear wheel is substantially larger.
Yeah.
I guess they're all that way, aren't they?
No. Yeah, well, some of them seems to be. Like,
Yeah.
this one, this guy, for example, they're almost the same, but then I'm looking at...
It's thicker on the inside. Drag a guide down. I want to see if they're the same.
Like, this looks a very similar model, but like this, there's clearly thickness difference.
Yeah, I wonder if it's that way on every motocross bike, or whatever these are called.
Dirt bikes.
Dirt
Yeah,
bike.
you can see. See, like literally just throwing a few images down, and we're already learning new things about the thing that I had no idea about. And like, you can do the same with like
Toaster ovens.
aircrafts. What?
Toaster ovens.
Yeah, you can do the same with toaster ovens. Tom is learning about them right now, and you can also look at spacecraft. You can look at weapons, and really try to compare them, and discover new things that you wouldn't ever think about. This guy is interesting. It looks like it's like much lower. The engine is compared to the other ones, to the others. So one thing that I'm thinking about here is kind of the weight distribution, and looking at this, like there's on all of them, there's almost nothing at the front, because the thing needs to jump, and when it's midair, you don't want it to tip forward, right? And the majority of the weight is like in a dead center. And the engine is the biggest mass of the bike, which you can see, like if I were to like create rectangle here, the engine is like almost in the dead center. So that's another thing that, you know, wouldn't think about when I started, but now I know that that's the thing, and that when I'm designing my own bike, that's the rule that I should probably, you know, keep an eye on to make sure that my bike doesn't, you know,
Tip over.
tip over. I am still looking at things. Don't see much more. Do you have anything to screen share? So people.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, look at this thing. Jesus. Look at that. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Kind of like this
Like-
this direction. You know.
It reminds me of one of the robots in Horizon.
Do you hear people in my living room? Are they loud?
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
Is that a problem?
Hmm?
It's not a problem. Doing it live, man.
Yeah. It's like a punk rock concert. Live energy
Mm-hmm.
flowing. I don't know what's going on in my living room. Look at this guy. It's kind of like weird and short and then bulky. It's so weird.
You're weird.
Yeah, that's what my parents say. I should make a dirt bike three-wheeler. Because why not?
Yeah, but put like the third wheel in the center of the bike instead of like.
Yeah, because that makes sense, right?
Well, if we were doing concept art for a Kurt Russell movie, maybe.
What's wrong with Kurt Russell movie? I'm so confused.
No.
All right, I think I'm gonna get 2 more of them.
You should get just as many as you should get.
Well, collecting too many references can turn into a form of procrastination, so I'm just getting just enough to start my thinking. No. Oh, that's neat. No, I already have that. Maybe my dirt bike isn't gonna even have wheels. It's gonna have like jet engines or something. Anti-grav. Technology.
Yeah, maybe it's a ornithopter,
Yeah.
like but sideways.
Yeah. Who knows? Okay, I'll grab this guy. Alright, so we have an array of references. Let's merge them all together. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of a cleanup so we get a silhouette. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky. Silhouette is what I'm after, so I'm making sure that I got all the nice little things that we have here going on. Okay, use some levels to crank it up more. Good enough. So we don't need saturation, and let's see. Levels.
Oh, I got the sniffles.
So here we have some basic silhouettes. They're not super clean right now because there's some JPEG artifacts, but this is once again just like kind of starting point. I'm gonna be painting on top of them a lot, and it will be refining these shapes over and over. I just kind of want to know where to start. Okay, select color range, and pick the white. Alright, got our silhouettes. So just eliminating the details. Or highlights that were in an original thing. And I'm using the kind of the randomness that I got out of the highlights to maybe dictate a brand new shape and create a more interesting shape language here. So far I'm not designing anything, I'm just kind of getting a feel for it, and as I'm cleaning it up, I'm also studying the what the object is about. One thing is to just look at a bunch of images and you think that you're kind of learning them as you're looking at them, but you actually what I discovered is that most of the time it's just you're just wasting time unless you're actually drawing something. It's really hard to understand how the object is made. That's just for me. I really like this kind of multi-layered approach, like multi-layered setup. Like there's the bottom part, and then there's this top part that's sitting on it. And I like this juxtaposition of, you know, the top and bottom kind of being slightly offset. You see that, Tom?
Mm-hmm. It's almost like there's a hinge for that.
Yeah, so like it really makes it feel like that bottom, like the back part can, you know, rotate and twist and really bounce depending on I can almost imagine it being like really, like this, the rear part being long and like kind of stretched out going into the back. I like that. So that's something to experiment with. But, you know, let's keep looking. This silhouette almost looks like a bird of some kind, like a rooster. Like that tail is totally like a rooster shape. It's weird.
You're a roadrunner.
Yeah. What's interesting though is the shape of the spokes, like the wheel. It's got this little breaking points here. I haven't even noticed it until I turned it into a silhouette, and like I really like that. It's a cool design language. I hope this example demonstrates, you know, the usefulness of this approach, because, you know, I'm learning things right now. And it's a relatively stress-free process where you just, paint a silhouette and try to identify the things that are common across all of these silhouettes, and identify the parts of the design that you like and something that you would change. And it's all about shapes. You don't have to worry about perspective or color or shading or quality of lines. None of that matters. And like I'm already starting to kind of exaggerate some of the lines just to make it slightly more interesting. Because I mean, like all of these bikes that I'm using here, they were designed with specific purpose. They need to be durable, they need to be fast, they need to, you know, have that what's the word, aerodynamics, so like certain like level of aerodynamics and, you know, that type of stuff. But they aren't really, like, I doubt that the people who were engineering it were thinking about, oh, is it gonna look badass? Because, you know, I mean, there's definitely that aesthetic aspect of it, but the actual real world productivity or like the performance is what these dirt bikes are all about, right? At least that's what I think they are about. So there's a lot of like little things to the silhouette that Kind of look a
I
little
wonder.
bit.
I wonder if you could find some that don't have the plastic shell on top.
Yeah. Yeah, I could look for that. But, you know, like, a lot of that silhouette is kind of like just, you know, here you basically have a straight line, which just looks boring. But, you know, since we're making a sci-fi thing, we can push it further. Also, lasso tool is great. Lasso tool in Photoshop, like, using it is just as helpful as like using a masking brush in ZBrush. It feels awkward. You don't want to do it, but the more you use it, the better you're gonna get, or the faster you're gonna get the results. And like once I have these silhouettes cleaned up, I'm gonna take a really close look and kind of identify the ones that are too similar to each other, and then just throw the ones that are too close out, because, you know, I need them. Like the idea of maybe having like this type of a pattern, which is kind of overused in sci-fi designs, but also like there's an easier way to do this. I can just do something like this, and then brush the shape. And like literally did like few brush strokes, and suddenly this silhouette starts to stand out from the rest of them because it's got this unique detail. It's stuff like wheels. I mean, wheels are wheels. I mean, I'm gonna try to come up with like a better design for the patterns, or like try to use the cooler types of design, like this type of thing. But
you are gonna have wheels.
Hmm?
You are gonna use wheels.
I don't know yet. I might do both. Who knows? It's still too early, and I'm just having fun here. I don't like the fact that there's too much crap going on here, so I'll just simplify it a bit. But if I am gonna use wheels, they're gonna be. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, wheels are wheels. You don't have to spend time trying to draw a perfect wheel design with all these spokes. If I can just get an image on the internet and throw it in and have a solid starting point for a wheel, there's no point to do it by hand. Unless you have too much free time. Bob is playing Dark Souls. You know what you should do, Tom? Also, I'm noticing some of them have these little spiky things that stick out. I have no idea what these do. It looks like it's like a fuel tank cable or something. I don't know why it's going out of this way. It's weird. But hey, once again, learned yet another thing. There is a cable that comes out of a fuel tank for some freaking reason. Now I have to go on Wikipedia and actually do more research on that. Yet another bird-shaped motorcycle. I think it's the same as the... Yeah, it's the same kind. It's just the wheels are rotated, so... Believe. I really like the shape language here. It's got like nice little cutoff, nice negative space with these kind of parts that just have gaps in the construction. To me, when I think about dirt bike, I'm thinking about a motorcycle that's, you know, super light, that has these basically a frame with an engine. And like a little bit of like a plastic covering to make sure that the driver doesn't, the rider, I guess you ride a motorcycle, right? You don't drive it. To make sure that the rider doesn't, you know, get their foot stuck in a piece of machinery. This is a cool silhouette, yeah. How are you doing on time, Tom?
Pretty good. It's 12:30.
You can use the same silhouette approach to study the shape language with anything, characters, weapons, could be even environments. It's just a matter of you know, doing it, seeing what works, what doesn't. Yeah, I definitely like the 2 layers system. Look at this. I just made a sci-fi dirt bike.
How's that?
See this? Boop. Done. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's just like that Matt Damon one brush stroke video. that was going around yesterday.
I will be right back.
I was gonna be right back. Alright, so the silhouettes are more or less clean. Let's do a little bit of organizational work. So here we have kind of the lighter ones, which is cool. Then we have the dual layer types, where there's a top part and then there's a very obvious bottom one. I like these. And then we have kind of all in between. So next step is to actually start, coming up with some variations, and mixing and matching some parts and seeing where we can take this. We got a good starting point. Let's. I'm gonna make the image slightly smaller because right now it's pretty giant. Let's make it 4K or something. And I'll extend my canvas, and we'll start, grabbing the parts that we like about these designs. So maybe this is a cool chunk, and then we have something like
No pixels were selected.
what the heck, let's try something like this. The difference in wheel size is amazing. So that's cool. Let's grab this guy, make it bigger. Alright. And now maybe something in the front. Kind of like, I don't like any of these frontal pieces. This one is kind of cool. There, and we have kind of ugly looking first attempt to create our own more interesting looking combination. We can experiment with it more.
It's funny if you make that centerpiece like too thick, it starts to look like just a regular street motorcycle.
Yeah, that's there's one, I think, like this one is very similar. I don't know, one of these, I think maybe this one. So and then can use warp to play with shapes. And then we can also do some negative space shapes as well, and come up with something more interesting. So maybe something like this. And like right now I have just what I can do is select this part, Control-Shift-C to copy merged, and Control-Shift-V to paste it. And what it does is it actually copies the background, so I have this white space, white pixels, and I can use this shape to actually, you know, add some
negative space.
Negative space, yeah. And let's see. I'm gonna merge it. Control E. And it feels like my wheels aren't aligned. And we got the first bike. Let's do something else. Maybe something like this. That's all that I like. And then where's the body of this guy? Like that, this is already looking badass. Just judging by the shape.
Now just throw a toaster oven in there and call it finished.
Yep. Everything could use a little bit of a toaster.
Or a washing machine.
That's a funny looking motorcycle. Look at it, it's so cute.
Yeah, where would you sit there?
I don't know. Well, you don't sit, it's a dirt bike, dude. It doesn't have the problem is that it doesn't have the fuel tank. Right?
Right, because it's not really meant to hold a lot of fuel.
Let's give him a fuel tank. And then something like this, sure. Bam. Alright. What about like the more elegant ones? So let's grab this body. And then, you know, you can even try something, you know, you grab a same shape and then you like flip it and, you know, distort it to kind of make it work, and suddenly you have a brand new
lethal combination of plastic and metal.
Yeah, and you know, nobody will look at it and tell you, hey, you used this particular model of a motorcycle to start it. No. Never happened. in the history. So I like this idea of the rear wheel being far behind. To me, it's an interesting proportion. What's going on? Wait, what? You know how Photoshop sometimes gives you like some kind of a message, and you just press OK because you want it to go away, and then you
like, oh shit, what did that say? Yeah, that might have
well,
been
no, I don't even care what it says, but then I'm trying to, press a button to do something else, and the message keeps popping up. So you press enter again, and then it just keeps popping up, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sakes. No, I don't like that. Yeah, so I want like maybe behind, like the rear wheel goes like very far back, and then in the front it's just a very kind of clean, bare minimum type of a design. That's interesting to me. I'm gonna get some water. I'll switch to your screen in the meantime. So you better have a most beautiful toaster oven ever.
I don't know about that. I feel like I'm working pretty hard.
Hey, that's definitely there.
Yeah.
There's like a minor perspective issue at the bottom left. Or bottom right, depending on which side you want to fix. But yeah, definitely an improvement compared to where we've been 2 weeks ago. Okay, get in the water.
Yeah, why am I not seeing it? Ah. What do I do?
So yeah guys, if you ever felt like, hey, I want to design like a boat, but I don't know where to start, or I don't know how to do it because I've never done it before, this silhouettes method is quite a fun and easy way to start doing something that you haven't designed in the past.
So I did something here. I just made my whole thing black and white, but I can't. There's no undo step.
Did you? What's your
Still an
document
RGB
set? Is it an
RGB?
Is it like one of those color-proof whatever things? Gotta start over. That's the only way.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know, man. Photoshop can be interesting sometimes.
I've never.
Go to your channels.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh yeah.
I must have hit Control 3 or something.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So I don't know what to do here.
About what's this? Okay, so the second line from the the second line from the bottom. Yeah, just select that, and no, don't go past there. Yeah, that's good. Control T, and grab the. No, I wouldn't rotate. Grab.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay. No, wait. Undo. No. Guiding someone in Photoshop is like the most painful thing that in the world. So, the middle handle on the left or on the right. Like I think it's much easier to lower the left side. Yeah. That's it. And now you have to do the adjustment for the other lines to make sure that they're parallel. Just Control T as well. I wish you listened to me. But oh well.
I listen to you tons.
Also make sure to flip your canvas to spot those types of things. I have a
That's
shortcut.
Now you're just doing crazy talk.
Flipping canvas, man. So let's do like a cool hover bike. And after that, I think like I don't want to run a stream for too long today because it's Sunday and I'm tired. Unless you want to go for 2 more hours, Tom.
You know I don't have 2 hours in me.
How many hours do you have in you?
I don't know. We can keep going.
So I've duplicated this guy, and now I'm just coming up with like a cool hover, the ornithopter engine shape. And so I did the rear one, but then one thing that I've learned from looking at these guys is that the rear one is always thicker than the frontal one. So I'm grabbing it, the frontal ornithopter, even though it's a completely different mechanism, I'm still trying to follow the design rules of the traditional dirt bike,
Hover bike.
hover bike, whatever. Now my question is, would the steering wheel work the same way? Because you're rotating it left or right, but what does it even freaking mean for a hover mechanism?
Is it like a magnetic hover, or is it compressed air, hover. How does that work?
I was thinking about old school, old timey propellers. For the time being.
So then it's gonna tilt one of the one or both.
It got to be tilting it.
Yeah, or maybe like there's baffles on either side of the propellers that direct the air in the direction that you, or in the opposite direction of where you want to go.
Yeah.
You know, if you had like left and right actuators.
Yeah.
For the front baffles, and then your feet control the rear.
So I got this kind of awkward looking weird shape here going on, because why not?
Yeah, maybe the rear one would be pointed back, like rotated.
Well, yeah, there's this pivoting mechanism here, so
Right, but like the default position might be, yeah, because the front one is just for turning, right?
Yeah.
So that could be way smaller than the rear one, and then the rear one's going to mostly be propulsion, so it's going to be
So
kind of
maybe we're gonna push the contrast more then, in terms of scale.
Yeah, I like having it off center too. That's nice.
And then, like, this would be kind of like a landing thing.
Yeah, like my truck. I have a 4-wheel drive truck, and underneath the front is a skid plate, which by itself as a component looks really cool. It actually looks like it would hurt somebody if you ran somebody over with your truck, it's probably gonna hurt, but like it would cause more damage than normal.
You gotta add like some nails and spikes to it.
Or like a skid plate.
For like extra the pedestrian bonus, like Carmageddon.
Oh my god. I was driving home the other day and I pulled up alongside a semi, an 18-wheeler. And the front wheels of this truck, the guy had 4-inch spikes sticking off the lugs.
Why?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure that there's a reason, right? Like he doesn't want people to get close to him. But it was just like, how is that legal? It looked like it was like something out of Mad Max. It was crazy.
And then, like, obviously it would have 4 fans, right? One on each side. Not super happy about it, but it's an interesting idea. Let's give it another try and see what we can get.
I don't know. Do we have any reference for like maglev pads that are actually real?
Yeah, I mean, I can get it. I can get more reference for this. I'm just trying to. Before I go that far, I wanna have some fun. I'm just procrastinating to get a reference. Jesus Christ, give me a break.
It's like the name of today's episode is going to be "How to Procrastinate."
Yeah.
Tom and Alex.
And we don't need an exhaust pipe, obviously, because, but we could have an interesting looking thingy here. And then you have some wires connected to the rear. That's cool. I like the idea of it kind of like folding, bending.
Oh, look at how scratchy this is, dude.
Well, you need to. That's okay. But drop the opacity, create a new layer. This is only your second pass, dude. Alright. So what if you took this guy, we lost this part, made it more pretty, then this part can be a little bit more of a kind of like the engine wing shape. And you could even just extract shapes from the existing bike parts. Extract it. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And I mean,
Is this a new? This is a new. Yeah, this is another iteration.
I mean,
Yeah, I like the idea of it not being that rear panel, not being smooth, not having like it's all about propulsion right there.
Yeah, or like, what if actually there was a front wheel, but the back wheel was like. It sounds like a recipe for, doing a front flip, but.
Maybe there's just maybe the wheel is
there
the
you go.
There's the wheel in the center, right? Just in case. That's just in case, the.
There. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Why am I so good? All right. Jokes aside, let's be serious.
Yeah, I wonder if for anybody watching, if
I said let's be serious, and Siri is looking for a nearest.
Yeah, here are the sushi restaurants near you in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't find anything called Euros.
Euros. Classic. I could use a sushi right now. So what can we use for the frontal frontal whatever that thing is? I can literally grab this piece.
Or the back of this. Flip it. Yeah. Or maybe two vertical canisters. Yeah.
Something like this. And remember, these are just ideas. This is not an actual concept. This thing can change, but look like this to me looks pretty freaking cool. If only thing I would maybe adjust is make these things kinda go lower. A little. And typically, the more variations you do, the better your ideas are gonna get, and the more interesting thing. You'll start coming up with more interesting designs.
The thing I noticed watching you do silhouette work like this, you get to this point where you get too excited about the form, and then you're like, I gotta start doing 3D.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you mean. Like, I generally only switch to 3D when I know that I exhausted an idea to the point where I'm ready to do 3D. Like right now I wouldn't do 3D because I still like haven't explored all the potential here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ideas I can play with. But yeah, okay, so this is cool. I really like this kind of weird looking.
Yeah, this like a animal skull.
So let's do another one and call it a day. I'm hungry. So let's try like a weird proportion where there's a lot of that horizontal offset. See, it's like, yeah, this stupid. This one doesn't really have a feel of a dirt bike because it's more like a almost like a Harley Davidson type of. And maybe add another layer of the offset. It's so ridiculous. Maybe because that rear wheel is so far away. Hey, why not? No, this is ridiculous. I'll make it slightly bigger. Maybe it's an egg shape.
It just defies physics altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, or three of those stacked right on top of one another.
That would be too much. Alright, so what else can we do about this ridiculous thing? I feel like I squished the wheel. It's beautiful. I wouldn't want to ride one because I'd be scared for my life. dinky, what is it called? Protector thing.
Maybe a roll cage. Maybe it needs a roll cage. You know, because the future is all about safety.
Maybe it needs an armchair.
Yeah, sofa.
Yeah. Look.
Now, does that come with cup holders?
We can add one there. A little straw.
Some steamy coffee.
Yeah, like a burger here. Ah. I feel like maybe the steering wheel would be like really low, and like the rider would pretty much be like
Laying down.
yeah, laying down, like head here, arms here, and then you know the crappiest stick man ever. Yeah, that type of a thing.
Mhm.
That's absolutely terrible stick man. I'm ashamed of myself.
All right. I think we're
All
gonna
right,
wrap it
guys.
up.
So yeah, let's continue in the next one. I definitely think that there is a lot more work to do here, but hope you learned something new and hope you enjoyed our little exploration session.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow I might be working in Unreal Engine, doing some UMG stuff for the loot container.
Yeah, and look at these lines, Tom. They're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, but like you can see how a little bit of iteration goes a long way.
Yeah, started from here.
Yeah, and you know, same
Yeah.
same can be said about this, where we iterated our way from very generic motorcycles to like some really wonky ones, and here you have a messy line work turning into a really clean one.
Yeah, and this actually, the toaster oven thing is. There's actually a reason why I'm doing this. We're gonna
Did you
have
want a
because
toast?
well, no, it's one of the pickups in the Bandy game.
All right. Yep.
This is something I actually want to take it through and do the hard surface in Modo and export it as a game asset, and then give it to you to paint damage and decay and beat it up
I'm all about damage and decay.
in Substance Painter or whatever. All right, cool. Looking forward to the coming week, and thanks everybody for checking the video out. Remember to click that little subscribe button on YouTube and stop on by our Patreon, and maybe consider throwing us some cash to keep doing what we're doing.
Awesome. Okay. Later, guys.